So I started 2 years ago to teach about business finance education. So I help solopreneur to be having everything system in place and having an easy way for them to understand that part of their business and thrive in the back end as much as they do in the front end. So today, Anissa and I were talking about doing one bookkeeping tip a month, and today I choose there is two different type of accounting method. One is cash accounting and one is accrual accounting, and it's really important because for us the allowed method is accrual, and a lot of people don't know that, and being just the end of the year and the start of the new year, that can make a big difference in your bookkeeping and accounting. And so what are the two methods? That's what I'm going to go over, and we'll make it short and sweet so people don't have to watch us for 10, 15 minutes.
Well, and I think it's perfect because you explained to me, and I've been I've only ever done like really big business as opposed to the solopreneur. I've done that my own, but it's like at a very small level. And so I've only done like, lawyer's accountant level. And so this was really good. I think it's really important for everybody to hear.
Awesome. So most of people think that they need to do cash accounting, and cash accounting is accounting for your money when it's coming in and when it's going out. An example, let's say that I did some services for you in December and I sent you an invoice and you are just paying me today. Most of people will just take, oh, I got the money now, it's February 1st. Oh my God, February 1st, right? It's February 1st, so they put the money now, but it's not now. That is cash accounting, and it's wrong. Like it's good for some businesses that the government allows to take, like agriculture, because agriculture have a long time between the money they spend and the money they earn, because there's a big cycle, so they can use that method. But for any of us small business owner, we need to use accrual method, which is when you invoice, it's when it goes in the book. So if I invoiced you December 15th for services, that money needs to be accounted in 2018 in December, even if I received the money today to pay for that invoice. Okay, so that's the big difference. And sometimes, let's say I hire someone in December to build me a big website and something branding and something very pretty for my business, and they will build it over 2019, and let's say they ask me for 20,000 upfront ahead of time. The services will be provided in 2019, so the expense has to be in 2019. Even if I paid the money in 2018, I cannot claim this as an expense in 2018. So that's the main distinction. Like when it's cash accrual, it's the moment you paid and the moment you receive the money, and it's not what we have to do. What we have to do is accrual. That means is when you invoice, that's when it goes in the book, and when you get the services. Like if you pay ahead of time, you need to account when the service is provided.
And now that you've explained it, I understand that is what my bookkeepers had me doing. So that's amazing.
Yes, exactly. And if it's like let's say I invoice you in March and you pay me, I don't know, in June, it doesn't make such a big difference because it's all the same year. Where it makes a big difference is when, like now, we are at the end of one year and the beginning of the other year. So if we don't do it right, what will happen is that we might have too much revenue in one year, and the expense that are related to these revenue are in a different year, and the government wants you to have, if you earn that money and the expense related to earning this money to be in the same year, right? Because otherwise you could have big revenue one year, not so much expenses because they are the next month, or big expenses and not so much revenue. So like this is all what it's about, accrual method. And you can Google it, and government explain it well. If what I said is not clear, or you need more, you're curious, you need more information, you go on the CRA website and
Can
accrual
you,
method.
I think what also kind of, if people are just starting out a business, you know, sometimes some businesses have a different tax year. Could you, maybe, I think that that somehow is going to, understanding that, like, you know, some businesses set, say, February as their end of their tax year. Could you explain, because I think that the two kind of, understanding which ones are affected by which would be probably helpful.
Well, if you're self-employed, which is sole proprietorship, that goes with the calendar year because it goes with your tax return, your personal tax return, which is from January 1st to December 31st. So that's no big deal if you're self-employed. But if you have an incorporation, that is different because when you incorporate, depending on when you incorporate during the year, you can pick your year end. But if you don't pick one, by default, let's say you incorporate today, which is February 1st, by default, your year end will be finishing January 31st next year, 12 months, right? So when you start an incorporation, you want to make sure that you pick your year end. So let's say you start today, you can decide that you want to have December 31st as your year end. So your first year will be from February 1st to December 31st, and then the next year is going to be January to December. So see, when I started my business, I was living in Whistler, where Whistler was the busiest part of the year is the winter, right? So I didn't want to have my year end right in the middle of the winter when I'm very busy, and then I don't have enough time to do my year end. So my year end is June 30th, because June was quiet and I could do my my accounting then. So
brilliant.
yeah.
So if you have any more questions about that, Jocelyn teaches bookkeeping. She has courses, and you also have a workshop that's a little bit separate as well, don't you?
Yeah, like I'm focused on helping people, solopreneur, with bookkeeping and accounting and everything. But what I realize also is that I've been doing a lot of training, a lot of networking, and I realized that solopreneurs struggles with visibility and earning money and everything. So I'm also starting to grow a little bit to just really support the solopreneur, because this is the people that I love and I want to support them. So this afternoon I'm running a workshop on Zoom. It's online and it's from 12 p.m. Pacific time until 2. You don't have to be there because if you pay for the workshop, which is a really tiny fee of $20 US, and you can get the recording and watching later on. By a fact, like a lot of people have signed up and most of them say, oh, I cannot be there. That's okay. You'll get the recording. I'm going to teach the same thing anyway. But it's about 5 things that you can start doing today in your business and start making more money. And it's all things that I've been learning and I've been implementing for myself, and it's been working. Like my business has been blooming in the last 6 months, and it's all because I've been implementing those little tips. Mm-hmm. So I want to share this because sharing is caring. So if I can share it with some people and some people can make more money and be more successful, then we are all winning, right? So I'll post the link. It's on my website. It's jjcostkeeping /business-growth, but I'm gonna post it down there. And
I've tagged your Facebook page too, so if it's on there as a link, they'll get it, and then we can also post it below in the.
I'll post it below so it's easier to do. And yeah, so the link's gonna be there. It's today, and it's gonna be fun, and I'm gonna try to do my best to empower everyone that will join.
Awesome. I'm going to sign up, and I have to compliment you being the queen of follow-up, because it's one of the things as a business coach that every time I would put the question out, how many people have, as I just did it again, have cards sitting on their table that they haven't followed up with. And I see you actively out following up with all of your leads that I know that you've met and things like that. And it's one of the strongest things as a solopreneur that you can do is follow up. Just kind of like
the fortune is in the follow-up.
It is. So congratulations on your success. And I look forward to our next bookkeeping tip as well. And thank you for being a master coach to everyone around you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you I'm so happy I can call you friend. Thank you for being in my life.
You're a total blessing as well. It's nice to have someone to live and smile with and laugh with, but also know that we all have, as came up the other day, really big, hairy goals that we can share that with. And sometimes that's really important to have friends with really big goals that you can,
we can support each other, right? Like you might be having an issue that you faced before that I'm facing now, and experience and wisdom, and we can just help each other out. That's all it's all about, right? Teamwork, make the dream work.
Yeah, that's why I started the ladies meeting. So I'm so lucky that you came. I'm going to end our recording here, and I'm going to go sign up for the course as well.
That's awesome.
And I have to go to work this afternoon, so I will catch it.
The recording. Yay. Awesome.
Stopping our recording now. I think we'll still be live on Facebook for a minute.